Hi. So these videos are meant to help you prepare your Maxheva project. We'll be doing certain things in school, but since we only meet once a week, I thought this might be helpful. So first of all, just to show you what a project might look like. So let me just give you a project that somebody did. Here, this is what it looked like. In other words, it's telling your Aliyah story. This person said, why make Aliyah to Israel? His connection to Israel. I'm originally from South Africa, being of Jewish community, tells his own personal story, and each of you can tell your own personal story. Or if you're not comfortable sharing your story, you can make up a story. That is fine. Um, and then he goes ahead and he says why he believes why Israel is important to the Jewish people. And again, everything is accompanied with great images. Makes the presentation come alive. The fact that you're going ahead and you're using an image. Um, and so then he starts using the sources. So here's one source, the establishment, the state of Israel, sign that Mashiach has started coming. Some can argue that Israel is good but has no religious value. But Israel has enabled us Jews to immigrate from all over the world, kibbutz galiyot. So one of the things we're going to be learning about is kibbutz galiyot and gathering of the exiles as being a sign that Eretz Israel is being reestablished as a national Jewish homeland and maybe a step in the coming of Mashiach. So he is using that source, and that's what you're going to have to do as well. Use the sources that we learn and incorporate it into the slideshow. Then he goes ahead with the Rambam's opinion. We already did the Rambam's opinion. I'll go over it in the video. Then he goes to something called the Inyan Elokim, which he did not yet learn about. So again, he takes the sources that we learned or we're going to learn, and he incorporates them into a slideshow. He also narrated the show, so he also was able to explain anything that wasn't in the slides. So we're going to learn about Rav Kalisher. So he explains what Rav Kalisher said. This just gives you a taste of what the final product is supposed to look like. Right now, what I want to do is again go through some of the things that we have learned, that we're going to learn, so that we're all on the same page, ready hopefully to do an excellent job in terms of learning and then to doing the project itself. Okay, so let's just take what we were discussing last time. We're discussing this idea of Eretz Israel, of being kibbutz galiyot, the concept of the ingathering of the exiles. The part of the essence of Eretz Israel is that Jews from all over the world are going to be attracted to come back to Eretz Israel. So we find that we studied the many sources for kibbutz galiyot, and kibbutz galiyot certainly is one of the amazing things that's happened to the Jews over the last 120 years. That really here in Eretz Israel, there are members of Jewish communities from across the world, literally Arba Kamfal Ta'aretz, literally the four corners of the world. Now, hey, this is not a surprise because if we read the Torah, Torah says it's going to happen. If we read Dvarim Perak Lamed, you could read it in the English or read it in the Hebrew, and you see it says Vashav Hashem Elkecha Shvutcha V'Richamecha Vashav V'Kibascha Mikol Amim Asher V'Scha Hashem Elkecha Shama. That after we are scattered, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to bring us back. And if you look at the Psukim, Pasuk Daled, even if you spread to the ends of the heavens, wherever you are, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will gather us back. So if you look in this particular kata, this particular section of the Barim, what you have is what I like to call the first step, just physically coming back to Eretz Yisrael. And when we're physically back in Eretz Yisrael, Pasuk Hashem promised to us, again, you can read the English, those last words are, He will make you more numerous than your forefathers. They were going to be able to grow. Wow, this is written in the Torah, and now we're seeing that it's happening. Another source for kibbutz galiyot is a pasuk. A lot of people know it because it's also quite a popular song. But again, you have it in the English and Hebrew from Yeshayahu. Vayabayamahu will be on that day. Yitzchak b'shofar gadal. There'll be a big shofar blast. Uva'o of dim beres Ashur v'nilchem beres Mitzrayim, and the Jews that were lost in Assyria, and those that were pushed to Mitzrayim, to Egypt. V'shachvu Hashem b'har hakodesh b'Yerushalayim. This has another element. Not only will we return to Eretz Yisrael, v'shachvu Hashem b'har hakodesh b'Yerushalayim. We'll be able to come to do Avodat Hashem in Yerushalayim, be able to come to Yerushalayim. Now, a third source is what you find in a lot of the davening, Tefillat Musav L'Shel Galim. Here it's not in English, I will explain it. Avinu Malkeinu, God our Father, our King. Galei Kavod Malchutzcha Aleinu Mehira. Reveal the honor and the glory of your Malchut quickly. And let us sense you and see you. Now the underlined words. How are we going to sense God? When HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes our scatterings, means our scatterings, and brings us close. And we are all spread out, and kanes means to ingather us. What's going to happen? He'll bring us back to Sion, Eretz Yisrael, Yerushalayim, Beit Mikdashcha b'Sichat Olam. Suddenly, we also see the Beit Hamikdash come back to Yerushalayim. It will be a new Beit Hamikdash. V'shan nasa lefanecha et karbonocha v'teinu to b'dikas to jam b'savin chazam, and they will be able to do carbonot. So you see 3 steps. Step in Dvarim is that we're just going to come back to Eretz Yisrael. Yeshayahu, we're going to come to Yerushalayim. In the Tefillat Musaf, there'll be a Beit Hamikdash. Well, 1 has happened. We're coming back to Eretz Yisrael. 2 has happened. We're coming back to Yerushalayim. The 3rd step of the Beit HaMikdash is yet to be. So this is, again, this is a source for the idea that Kibbutz Galuyot, wow, the fact that it's happening seems to be a fulfillment of all these psukim. Now, the Maharal, who lived in the 1500s, says that this is so logical. This whole idea of Kibbutz Galuyot is so logical. Number 1, Eretz Yisrael Makom HaTevi Shel Yisrael. This is our natural place. Every people have a natural place where they thrive. And here in Eretz Yisrael is where the Jewish people thrive. So therefore, it makes sense that Jews will want to come back to Eretz Yisrael. It's like Lahavdil. Animals thrive in a certain environment. When they're taken out of that environment, they try to find it again. You can't force them, domesticate them. Maybe it depends on the animal, but the animals do best in their natural environments. Number 2, it's not natural that something which belongs together is blown asunder, is separated. And so basically what happens in science also, these things that belong together will eventually try to come back together. So it makes sense that the Jewish people should try to reunite. And the 3rd thing is hashibudei notivi, to be enslaved or to be at the beck and call of another government is, again, not natural. A person, people want to have self-rule. And that's why it makes sense that the Jewish people should want to go ahead and come back to Eretz Yisrael. So this is the first of our videos, and we'll keep on posting more. I hope this is helpful to you.